Vikings get set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
First carry now for the former Viking. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. They run it with McKinnon. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Sheldon Richardson in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to pump this one away. This is taken at the 23. Diggs with good footwork. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. It's a welcome back to health for last year's number 1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2nd down, Cousins.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A very solid gain of 27. A 1st down throw for Cousins. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Malcolm Smith in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
Hey, we're good. Hey, flipper. Just like that.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Lets it fly for Thielen. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
Hey, flipper.
3rd and long for Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6.
Hey, Clifford!
From the gun, here's Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malcolm Smith in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Now Cousins. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And it's 3rd down. Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on 1st and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 3rd and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
Maybe the first big test of the season here on both sides. This is 3rd and goal. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they'll throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Garoppolo looks to throw. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. And give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. Gets this one left side to Pettis. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
McKinnon. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The Vikings heading out, and we'll have to see what the Falcons do this year, but we do know that the Vikings will not be the first team to play the Super Bowl in their home stadium because they had that shot last year, Charles. Came up short in the NFC title game, but this is a club that has retooled to make another run.
Still built defense first, in the image of their head coach, Mike Zimmer. And they have all-stars at every level. Start with Linval Joseph at defensive tackle. Move back to Anthony Barr at linebacker. Xavier Rhodes at cornerback. Harrison Smith at safety. They can do it all on.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the first. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Garoppolo. He's going to look deep down the field. Well, hold on to that football, young man. It's the first NFL touchdown catch for DJ Chark, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
Although it's more commonplace now than at any other time in the NFL, it's still tough to think about throwing a rookie quarterback right into the fire week 1. But guess what? He handled the fire awfully well and threw his first touchdown pass.
Gold with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you could kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners.
He's got a man complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flipped field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 43. Handoff comes to Cook. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. They run again on 1st down. Cook. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep a defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Gun. Black.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And they're going to get this one up past the 25. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
They go play action here on 1st down. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
11.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. On 1st down, Garoppolo. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Daniil Hunter. In there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
11.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Steps away to his left. Over the middle, hauled in by Shark. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A gain of 32 that time. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 36. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this.
11. Hey, gun.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Anthony Barr in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he's on to punt for San Francisco. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Go ahead.
They pitch it out to Cook. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. Throwing is Cousins. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. Gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Cousins able to connect with Treadwell for a Minnesota first. Cousins now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here.
Rhino!
To throw, Cousins. Gonna let it fly for Rudolph. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete.
Let's go.
A very nice pickup of 33 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Again, it's Cousins going deep for Diggs. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. Of course, last year, you think about Dalvin Cook's injury in Week 4 with a torn ACL, just hoping that he can stay healthy in 2018.
And if so, we'll see plenty of runs that will be big time in 2018. Because in 2007...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount.
It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Toss play to McKinnon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Garoppolo now. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Linval Joseph breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? From the gun, it's Garoppolo. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. Flushed out right. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this, where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. A good kick, 49 yards. Just 3 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he's got some space here. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
A first run for the backup, Abdullah. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Garoppolo on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep, and he fires one that's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
Took till the 2nd half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. And he stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. In the 1st half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route.
For the former Washington Husky, Dante Pettis, touchdown number 1 in his career. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the 2nd half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the 2nd half.
And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he stopped immediately there. The tackle by Eric Armstead.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
On play action, Cousins. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
On third down, Cousins. And he finds Cook. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Incomplete, right side to Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a first down. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A first down throw for Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there, punching it in from a yard away. And the Vikings have made this now a one-score game. Carlson now to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. Throw right side, taken in by Pettis. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. So that throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
11. 6. 12.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. That one complete. He finds Sharp. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener, and it's a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. Garoppolo now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now a toss play. It's Breida. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes. You said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in week 1, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season, the advantage definitely goes to the offense.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. They'll run here. Abdullah. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Going up top. And that's caught inside the 30. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one. And even 50 yards.
Yellow, 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 yellow.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. First down. Here's Cousins. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Cousins. Dancing to his left. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Hey, we're good, we're good, we're good. We're good. Patient. Two.
Here's Cousins. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. 3rd down here.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. Cousins eluding the pressure right. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off down at the 2. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 40. 20. 10. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And now out comes Minnesota. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. This is Murray. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They go with Murray again. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down.
When a linebacker's able to sit at the 2nd level and see things develop in front of him, as soon as he got a hint that the quarterback was checking it down, he just made a beeline directly for the receiver and ended up making the play.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Gold able to tack on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the 49ers, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they go down to defeat